Hi guys, I'm Serena and today we're going to be talking about the Three of Cups. So, the Three of Cups is a card of celebration. It's sometimes called the Yes card. It's a card about abundance and gratitude and the grace of the Feast of Harvest. So like I said, celebration, it's about being surrounded by people who lift you up, who you can harmonize with, people who are wanting to celebrate you, or people coming together to celebrate something. So acknowledging your own growth or accomplishments indicates that we have achieved something valuable. Therefore, we are happy and satisfied and grateful. So it represents joy and fulfillment. It is symbolized by the number 3, right? So 3 is known as like the manifestation of something, or like things finally coming into alignment. So like, whereas the ace is potential, the 2 would be the first step, the 3 is kind of like the triad of those, like the first step, the intention, and then its first manifestation, like all 3 of those things coming into harmony to create this triangle. And so it's like an idea becoming fertilized, and the triangle is more stable than just 2 lines. Like it's actually like a shape. It's like the first formation of a shape is a triangle. So the idea of love, because cup has to do with love, has come into fruition finally. So it is cause for celebration. So it symbolizes, in mythology, the 3 of Cups is symbolized by Demeter and Persephone. And I would like to add Hades to that, but we will get to that in a second. So Demeter is the goddess of the harvest. She's the goddess of corn and wheat, both of which keep people sustained throughout the year. And it's a sort of something that is a cause for celebration. Like the celebration of Demeter is basically like the end of the season where wheat is being harvested and turned into bread. That is whenever the people of ancient Greece used to celebrate Demeter, because they thanked her basically for giving them wheat, giving them corn, and she was the goddess of the harvest. And those celebrations, it says symbolizing the harvest of the wheat and breaking of bread. Her celebration lasted usually for about 9 days at the end of September, or sometime during September. So these early celebrations in human history were the formation of traditions, which ultimately led to the formation of community. And this community is what creates humanity as we know it today. So that is how Demeter symbolizes the 3 of Cups, because the 3 of Cups symbolizes harvest, celebration, like the accomplishment, the celebration of an accomplishment, the celebration of, it can even be seen as an additional member, like the beginning of a family, like there's a mother and a father and a child, or 2 parents and a child. And so the 3 is like the actual shape taking place. So then also the goddess Persephone is personified in the 3 of Cups, because Persephone is Demeter's only daughter. She's the goddess of spring, the maiden of spring. And so she's actually taken by Hades, as most of us know, and her innocent nature is also taken from her. And so though her presence from the underworld kind of acts like in the same similar way as Ostara, like she brings life to the planet, she is the goddess of spring. Though her presence from the underworld brings life to the spring and summer, this life is fleeting but will return with the goddess of both life and death, being Persephone. So like her return to the earth acts as like a celebration, but it is something that comes and goes. And just because the 3 of Cups is happening doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna last forever. The 3 of Cups in reverse is actually an indication that maybe you have been celebrating for a little bit too long and things need to go back to some sort of routine where we're not like overindulging in like our it could possibly involve like drugs or alcohol, but like the Three of Cups upright, or just the Three of Cups, yeah, is like new life to a situation, a cause for celebration. Like there is like kind of seen as like the period of time in which Persephone is reunited with Demeter, because Demeter is her mother. Hades comes and takes Persephone away from Demeter, and basically takes her down to the underworld, and Demeter like throws this huge fit and like wants her daughter back. And so Zeus persuades Hades to give Persephone back to Demeter, but only with the exception that she will come back for like I think it's like a majority of the year. Is it how many? I don't remember how long it is, but there is a period of time in which she has to go back to the underworld to be with Hades. So that to me is kind of like the triad almost. It's like Persephone, Demeter, and Hades, because like there is a celebration, which would be Persephone, so the goddess of spring in her fleeting time on earth. There is the end, which is Hades, like causing an end to the celebration, and then there is the mourning or the desire for the return, which would be Demeter. So those three things kind of are what create the symbolism of the Three of Cups. There's the celebration period, there is the harvest, and there is the ending of said harvest, said celebration, and then there is the desire for that to come into fruition again, which inevitably will, because that's how the cyclical nature of time, right? So it's represented by the astrological aspect of Mercury in Cancer. So Mercury is the planet of thoughts and communication, and Cancer is known as like the mother archetype, or the nurturing energy of the zodiac. The mother of the zodiac is sometimes what she's called. So that tells us that thoughts and logic are often regard the home or family or companions, and are influenced largely by emotions and intuition. These thoughts can become anxieties and create internal tension. So if you have Mercury in Cancer, there's like a high likelihood that like a lot of what you think about or concern your time with is like your home, the people that you love, your friends and family, you know, your pets, and so because of this tendency to mainly focus on those thoughts and talk about those things, it can sometimes like manifest into anxieties. And that tells us, that placement tells us that the Three of Cups sometimes in reverse, or if it has some sort of negative connotation in regards to it, it could be influenced by an issue with the family or something related to emotional security. Yeah, that's what that tells us about the Three of Cups. So the three is like the synthesis or the union or the harmony, like we said, like two parents creating one child, like forming a family, you know, and then the cups representing love and devotion, like the harmony found from devotion to love and union creates a cause for celebration and pleasure and emotional fulfillment. So it is an indication, if you pull this card, that you are in a place of having the desire to give and receive, and there is a feeling of generosity with love and with the people around you, because they are like seen as gifts at this time. Like the people, companionship at this time is seen as like a blessing from the divine or the creator, because we are lucky that we don't get to be here. We don't have to be here on our own. Like imagine if you were the only person on earth, like just how like lonely and boring and stale and like unproductive everything would be. Like it's a cause for celebration that we are here with other people, and the Three of Cups is an indication that now is a time to express that love to everyone with whom deserves it. So life has given you what you needed, so affirm this, like say, life has given me everything I needed to be happy today. If you pull this card, that's like basically what the universe is trying to tell you. You have everything you need to be happy today. This is cause for celebration. Go out and like spread your love to others if they're deserving of that love. So this, it's like the spirit of agreement, mutual support, encouragement, and community. Like we said, it could be representative of like sisterhood, the idea of sisterhood, because it is like a feminine energy, because it's personified by Demeter and Persephone. So like the Three of Cups is like seen as like sisterhood. So it points to the benefits of harmonious relationships. Like think of the way that these three people sound whenever they're singing. Like it's like magical and beautiful and angelic. You know, that is the benefits of a harmonious relationship, and that is like a physical manifestation of that harmonious relationship is like the way that it sounds. So in reverse, like the Three of Cups could indicate that people are actually trying to give you this affection, give you this community, and the universe is trying to have you come into harmony with other people, and for whatever reason you have an emotional blockage which is like preventing you from doing so. And if this is the case, you are asked, like, why would you stop people from loving you? Like, what do you have to gain from rejecting someone? How does it feel for you to be rejected? And how does it make you feel to reject someone in that way? Like, is there a possibility that you are like living from a place of fear? And what can you do to overcome that fear? And what benefits would you gain from overcoming it? Because unconditional love is like a invaluable asset, and whenever you have people in your life that are considered family, right, like sometimes, I'm not saying this is everybody, like people have toxic family members from which they need to separate, but sometimes like people have quarrels with their family and it's not like the end of the world, and like having that unconditional love from people is something that like you can't just find anywhere. That's why a lot of the time people who don't have close ties to their family don't have close ties to anyone, because that bond is like hard to form with someone other than your significant other. It's like you have to like actively pursue friendships as if they are relationships. And so you're at, like, if it's in reverse and you don't necessarily feel like there's this unconditional love that's present in your life, you could be asked to reevaluate the relationship that you have with your family. If there's anything that you can do to like even just like set boundaries and let like a little bit of their light into your life, you know, like with distance. Or it's asking you to like deepen the ties that you have with your like found family or your chosen family, and kind of start to treat them as if they are your sisters, like they are your brothers, you know, and like that will fill this sort of void that you have within yourself if you are like lacking or feeling the lack of like your family presence. So advice from the Three of Cups is to create deeper connections with friends and families, like through sharing ideas and allowing them to express or display their unique talents and abilities, which will add to the richness of your life. And think of this as a way to be rewarded by the universe. Give the best of yourself to the ones that you love, and be content with the love that you receive in return. Because a lot of the time, like if you smile, like someone will smile back at you. If you express love to someone, someone will express that love back to you. And we all have faults, like you have your own faults, and we accept you for those. Like you could be being asked to like accept those in other people, like general disclaimer, like within like a safe range, right? So this is a time period when you should be cherished as this is a time that should be cherished, sorry, because this is like a fleeting period of time. Like think about Persephone and Demeter, like they're only together for a small amount of time throughout the year, and like this is like can be seen as that moment when they finally have a reunion. Like it is like cause for celebration, like they are so happy. but they are happy. Their happiness is created because of their separation, right? And it's this sort of like duality, because the threes are also representative of duality, duality between gratefulness and like sorrow and mourning. So yeah, it's also an indication to like appreciate just like the simple joys and pleasures in life, because those are just as important as reaching your goals and manifesting your dreams. So that's all I have today with the Three of Cups. I hope that you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like and subscribe. If not, see you later.